Thanks for joining us. This is Mo and Hess. He's Mo and I'm Hess, and thanks for joining us for another edition of In the Trenches with Mo and Hess. This week we have week 4 of the NFL season that's coming to a close, finishing up tonight with the Dallas Cowboys playing the Chicago Bears. As we look at week 4, I think the first thing we got to hit is that we've got our NFL referees back. And for me, I can't be more happier to see the Zebras back on the field. Mo, what are your thoughts on that?
Man, I'm going to tell you like this. I really don't care. I spent my whole career avoiding the refs. I didn't like the refs. And I don't think if your team sucked for the first 3 weeks, your team's still going to suck. And now you just can't blame the replacement refs. I'm glad the NFL did step up to show that they at least trying to take care of their players. It was a token effect. It was a token move, but they did. And I think the ebb and flow of the game was better. But like I said, the refs are back. After they made that first bad call, everybody went back to hating them. So replacement refs, true refs, who cares? Let's play football.
Well, I hear that, and I can't argue with that, but I will say this. At least we have some continuity back. The guys who are used to being in the saddle, maybe they're going to make bad calls every day, but at least they're going to make the same bad calls, and guys know what they're going to deal with. As we move along, one thing that stuck in my mind last week watching the Houston Texans game, the concussion thing and player safety has been such a huge issue this year in the NFL. And, there was a huge hit on Matt Schaub. His helmet came off. They say a little piece of his ear was, he's bleeding from his ear. And, the NFL's got this big deal about concussions and testing and all that. Matt Schaub's on the ground, both of his hands on his head, writhing in pain. He comes out of the game for one play and goes right back in. No concussion tests, no nothing. Hey, I'm fine, coach, and he's back in the game. My thing is, on something like that, if you're going to be serious about player safety, how can you let that go on without testing the guy for concussions? Are you serious or are you not, NFL?
Well, my former owner, Coach Al Davis, said it best. Just win, baby. The NFL, they said it because they have all this pressure on them. They got this big lawsuit pending on their head, and the former players going to win big on this. We all know concussions are a problem. Hey, I was fortunate enough my whole career in Oakland never to actually get my eggs scrambled. But that hit on Matt Schwab, that was a good hit. That reminded me of old school football. But, this day and age, the football players are programmed to be robots, they're programmed to be Iron Men, programmed to be gladiators, and the emphasis is on winning. And, even if they did check that guy, he would lie to made it back on the field.
So you think it's a non-issue, huh?
I think it's really an issue, but I'm saying, at the same time, we also have to fault the players too, because, if you got a player incentive or you got touchdown incentives or you got all these other incentives and you're going to lie to get back on that field because you've been programmed and your DNA is a winner. You want to be involved, especially if you're the quarterback. The NFL, if they're going to really make a stance on this concussion stuff, they need to put some protocols in place and stick to them and maintain the integrity of their concussion protocols. If not, stop talking about it. Pay the former players their money into litigation. Shut up and just let the world know that you don't care anymore.
Well, there you go. Mo keeping it real as always. So week 4 almost completely behind us. We've got three undefeated teams and we got 2 winless teams. The undefeated teams with the Falcons, the Texans, and the Cardinals, the winless teams with the Bears and the Saints. As I look at this, I can't say I'm surprised with the Falcons and the Texans. Those guys have had good cores to their team, good offensive, defensive linemen, run the ball, good, able-bodied guys at quarterback who are able to do some things. But I have to say that I'm really kind of shocked that the Arizona Cardinals have been able to get on track and be undefeated this year. What do you think about the Cardinals?
Well, they finally got a running back out there to help Fitzgerald out and carry some of the load. And he's playing like he's excited. I believe they got the quarterback situation buckled down a little better. And the Cardinals always had a good defense. And they always said that championships are won by defense. Fitzgerald just has better pieces to the puzzle. And unlike other teams in the league that get a star player and they want to ride that horse to death, the Cardinals have already put forth the effort and they really maintain the effort trying to build a team around Fitzgerald and help him out so it makes him a better player.
No, that makes total sense. Now talk to me about these winless teams. What do you see? What are surprises?
Well, it shouldn't be any surprise because you got the New Orleans Saints, and you got the Cleveland Buster Browns doing it again. I mean, hey, if it wasn't for the Cleveland's history of having great teams back in the early '70s and late '80s, we probably wouldn't even know they played football. The New Orleans Saints, I know they had a whole bunch of problems with the bounty scandal and lost the head coach, their defensive coordinator, and they brought in interim head coach Aaron Cromer, my former O-line coach. And one thing I would have to say, I'm going to have to bite this line from them boys on TV. Come on, man. What were you thinking in New Orleans? What in the world were you thinking? I mean, I don't know what you was thinking, but I guess you figured you just get through this season. Hopefully you don't get anybody hurt, and you bring Peyton back next year. The Browns, you're just doing what you normally do, and you're starting to stink even worse.
Oh, so let me ask you this. You mentioned bringing Peyton back next year. So what does this say about Sean Payton? About their head coach. They were 13-3 last year. What are your thoughts? I mean, if you're Sean Payton sitting at home, I mean, are you happy that your team is struggling because it shows your value? Or are you pissed off that they didn't, continue what you built there?
Well, I think Sean Payton has this thing that we would all love to have in the NFL, and it's called job security. The way they're performing, Drew Brees is not himself. He doesn't look like he's himself. They talked about how he was this great quarterback. He made all these reads. But it was obvious, and it is obvious, that Drew Brees and Coach Payton are a team. And they are a winning team together. Two minds are better than one any day, all day. And I think that when he comes back, you will notice a difference. That is his ship. He's the captain of that ship. And right now, as they say, the inmates are running the prison right now. And it's getting out of control, and it's 0-4. And they're back to their old ways in New Orleans.
Well, it's hard to argue with that, Mo. So as we look at the game tonight, we got the Cowboys at the Bears. What are your thoughts on that? What do you expect to see tonight, and who's going to come out on top?
Well, I say it all the time. The Cowboys aren't going to win a Super Bowl, but they will win this title every year for the next decade at least. They do have the prettiest stadium in the NFL. With that being said, I can't say much about their football. I did hear that they opened a Victoria's Secrets store in their stadium. And one of the radio commentators this morning was joking, saying that Tony Romo might be late to the game because now he got to go upstairs to change at the store before a kickoff. So I thought that was funny. Hey, but the Chicago Bears, man, they got Forte. He's running the ball. They always have a stout defense. It's Monday Night Football, so you can expect Julius Peppers to show up and create havoc off that edge all night. And Urlacher, he's still playing a steady game. So we'll just have to see. But I'll bet the farm on Chicago Bears taking them home this evening.
All right, right on. I think I'm going to go with the Bears, too. I've been mad at the Cowboys since they traded away Tony Dorsett, so I'm with you on that pick as well. So it wouldn't be In the Trenches with Mo Hess without us talking about our two favorite teams. I know that the Raider blood is still flowing in your veins. Me, it's that way with the Lions. Give me 30 seconds on what you think about your Raiders this weekend.
Big letdown. I mean, we just came off a home win against the AFC, from the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we go down there and we play Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, and we drop the egg. I mean, hey, I love the Raiders. I bleed the silver and black, but great day in the morning. Can you give me more on the field? The fans want more. Us former players want more. Al Davis' legacy deserves more. Fellas, get it together out there. But with that, I'm going to finish up with go Raiders.
Well, I got to say, man, I was up in Detroit this weekend. I'm still here now. And, I was at the game. And, my Lions, again, I bleed the Honolulu blue and silver, but really watched us struggle, not scoring enough on offense, giving up 2 touchdowns and special teams. It really has highlighted for us the last 2 weeks in a row. We've given up 2 touchdowns and special teams. Our defense has played well. Didn't give up a defensive touchdown. We just have to play on all cylinders. We really lost that game, as far as the kicking game. Our offense has got to get in sync, and we need to find another threat besides Calvin Johnson, because defenses are really keying on him, and we need to get him some help, kind of similar to what Larry Fitzgerald got out in Arizona. So, I'm a little bit irritated being 1-3, but we're going to the bye week and hopefully have some time to get that stuff fixed up. But It's been another great edition in the trenches with Mo and Hess. He's Mo and I'm Hess, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Go Lions.
Hey, remember, you can't have the NFL football without the trenches. See you next week.
That's right. And we're out.